Mount Vernon Square filled with demonstrators who were peaceful, some angry, and some weary.
I'm just tired. I mean, how many times does it have to happen where you just stay on the sideline and not do anything? Something needs to be done. We have to let those in power know that we're not going to take this anymore.
Hands up! Don't shoot!
No justice, no peace!
Across Minneapolis, students from Patrick Henry, Southwest to South High School protested the Ferguson decision to not indict a police officer for shooting a black teenager. Students had peaceful sit-ins in school hallways and cafeterias. Some students from South took to the streets.
No justice, no peace!
Many of them are the same age as Michael Brown when he was shot.
No justice, no peace!
All of them were moved to act.
Don't let it be another story or a victim.
So, for my action, I chose to do a video. Why a video is because I feel like you're able to more understand my emotions of this topic and why I feel so strong about this topic. So, my topic was racial injustice and police brutality. Now, I had the honor of basically interviewing 3 people in the service because I feel like one of the biggest things too is Colin Kaepernick using his platform and using it to be the voice for people who lost their lives to such senseless crimes, from people in uniforms that we're supposed to feel safe with, that we're supposed to feel like, you know, I'm able to call you and I feel safe. But people of African American people don't feel that way no more. They're more scared of the fact than, you know, able to feel, you know, safe with it. And it takes it back to kind of like way back into slavery when Caucasians came just to bring African Americans out of Africa and use them as slaves, and, you know, take them out of a place of comfort and home to where they bring them here and just whip them to death, and, you know, hurt them in so many other ways. So I was able to interview Mr. James Noble, Mr. Steve Joyce, and Miss Adrienne Hood. So basically I was able to interview them and ask them what's their perspective on Colin Kaepernick using his platform to protest and be the voice for those people who lost their lives. Like, voice of people for like people like Sandra Bland and Alton Sterling and many other African Americans who have lost their lives to people in uniform, police officers who's taken their, you know, role to a whole nother level that is uncalled for. You know, African Americans are losing their lives every day to such senseless act because they're taking their powers to a whole nother level because of my skin color. Should I be scared? I shouldn't have to fear you. I shouldn't have to feel safe with you. And so basically, I know there's a lot of military people who are very against Colin Kaepernick's protest because they feel like he's discrediting the flag. And so that's why I wanted to get people in the services point of view of how they feel about it, who are also African American, because, you know, some African Americans are against it too. Mr. James Noble, I was able to briefly talk to him, and basically his point of view is asking him how did he feel about Colin Kaepernick's protest and was he for and against it. He quotes, "Honestly, I feel he has the right to do what he does, whether anyone likes it or not. I fight for my country and all that comes with it, and also fight for the right to freedom of speech, whether I agree with it, I agree with someone or not." And I understand that because there's a lot of military people who say, I fight for you to have that freedom of speech, you know, and for you to have that freedom to speak up for what you feel is right and wrong. Now, with Mr. Steve Joyce, who's also a pastor, it was really good to speak to him too. He pointed out something very important to me. He's like, somebody, he's actually in the Air Force. I'm somebody who fights for my country. Mr. Joyce was basically saying that, you know, he's for Colin's protest. He's all the way for it. He just feels at the beginning he should have been more clear of why he did his protest. Like with Mr. Nate Boyer, the guy who told Colin Instead of sitting at the national anthem, take a knee, because that's out of respect for the people who we do for the other respect the people who lost their lives in the service. So we take a knee. So how about you take a knee for it? He, at a point in time, was also, you know, very disgusted of why of Colin sitting down during the national anthem, because this is someone who serves, and he's like, it's basically, you know, I risk my life, and this is how, you know, you do, like, this is how you treat the flag. He also had to sit back and remember, I have to get his point of view of why he's doing it. He's doing it for a cause, to be a voice for other people. And he just feels like, you know, at first, in the beginning of it, Colin should have been more a little clear of why he was doing what he was doing. So that more people at this point of view now can be more understanding of why he did what he did. Because he also stated out, like, you know, people in the service are risking their lives. They're willing to risk their lives to protect us. They have families at home that they're willing to still risk their lives and leave their family to fight for this country. They're willing to die for this country, to protect this country. And that's a big reason why I wanted to get their point of view, is because some of us are not in the service, so we do not understand nothing that, you know, they go through. So getting their point of view of how they feel about it is a big thing. So Mr. Joyce is also, you know, for Colin's thing. He just felt like at first he should have been more clear. And lastly, Miss Adrienne Hood, talking to her was very emotional, because not only is this a woman who serves as in the Air Force, she is also someone who has lost her child to police brutality. Her son's name was Henry Green, who passed away, who was shot and killed by Columbus police officers June 6, 2016, when all he was doing was walking home. So getting her point of view, as we know, she's all for it. She said she has not watched the NFL, and she said she would not watch the NFL until they put Colin Kaepernick back on the field. And she said she's tried to reach out to him to also say thank you for being that voice for people who have lost their lives to such a senseless act, and for being the voice for her son, who's no longer here, because police officers feel that they can just take your lives for nothing because of the color of your skin. And it's sad, because a mother shouldn't have to go through that, you know? No one should have to go through a family members, because that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's uncle, that's someone's loved one who has lost their lives because someone felt they were powered enough to take their life. Think they're God to take, no, you're not. And it's not right, because it's not fair, because you get to go back home to your family while those do. And it's very sad. And it brings me back to a video when I was watching of a dad showing a young girl what she has to say when she gets encountered with police officers. And it's parents basically getting parents' reviews and kids' reviews of how they feel, of what they should do when around a police officer. One girl broke down out in tears because her mom asked her, why do you feel like they do that? And she said, because of the color of my skin. So check this out, a quick clips of that.
We actually have a line that we do at our house. We practice this thing. What is it?
I'm Ariel Sky Williams. I'm 8 years old. I'm unarmed, and I have nothing that will hurt you.
It's just kind of a thing we practice at our house. There are great police officers out there. There's also some police officers who are not so good.
And my fear is that you run across one of those bad ones.
For some reason, people of color have always been a target by the police.
Before they became a policeman, they were a person. And that person took all their ideas and all their thoughts and all their prejudice into their job.
Why would a police officer assume that you did something bad?
Maybe because of my skin color.
I remember being put in handcuffs for something that had nothing to do with me. I was literally walking in the mall. Cops slammed me on the ground, busted my lip, chipped my tooth. That actually made me really mad.
It was about your age, actually. They grabbed me.
Why?
I didn't know at the time. They just grabbed me. They threw me onto the police car.
I got tased that time. That time they tased me because they said I wasn't complying.
Ariel, are you okay?
What's wrong, baby? I'm okay, I'm alive, all right? Every day I get to see you, I get to do this, right?
Sorry, watching it. It's kind of emotional. But as you can see, we have young children who are also scared for their lives because they feel like, am I going to make it to see you the next day? You have kids who are losing their lives because of the skin of their color. No child should feel that way, especially to somebody they are supposed to feel safe with. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some good cops out there, and I just feel like sometimes the good cops that are out there just should find a way to stand up against the cops that are not. I do see, sometimes I do see like African Americans fighting back with their words, or they feel like they need to retaliate in other ways. I feel like we should all kill them where it hurts the most. Seeing us successful in life, getting our doctorates or become successful, billionaires, whatever it takes, that's where it kills them. You know, and I feel like that's what we should do, you guys. And like I said, watching that was just emotional because when I see pictures of little kids saying, hands up, don't shoot, it's sad. Or, you know, like, am I next? We're not a number. We're not just a number. We're not just this person. As you are an individual, we are too. We have families that we want to go home to and we want to love. Show that we need to find a way to do something. We need to find a way to do an action to just share this and, you know, continue to, even though we don't have a Colin Kaepernick platform. So what? We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That's our platform. Use your platform to share these people's stories. Let them forever live on. Because in their head, oh, it's nothing. They dead, they gone, it's whatever. Or we took care of that, it's nothing. It doesn't matter to them. They don't care. Let's have these people's stories live on and continue to share other people's stories and find a way to fight against this. We don't, even like I said, we don't have Colin Kaepernick or T.I. or a celebrity platform, but we have a platform. We can use our platform to get stories out there. We can get our platform to get our voice out there. In any way that you feel like you can. So don't think that your voice doesn't matter, because it does. You don't have a big platform like that, but you have a platform. Let's find a way to use our platform, you know, and continue to share those stories. Be the voice of people like Colin Kaepernick is. And I'm so thankful that Colin Kaepernick is continuing to be a voice for people, even when some people were against him. He stood by what he was going for, and he continued it no matter what nobody felt. So let's also continue to do that. And I applaud the athletes who are taking the knee and continuing that what Colin has started. And let's not forget these people's names. Let's not forget who they are, because that was somebody's brother, sister, cousin, father, daughter. That was someone's loved one. Let's not wait till it's our next loved one. Let's continue to share their stories and their names.
This thought in my flesh is the only thing I got left, and it's so hard to confess when everybody thinks you're perfect. But I cry for you if you feel it too, and I cry for you if it's so hard to lose the elephants in the room.